Alright guys, as you see in the video, this individual comes up, he's trying to attack the individual from the rear. Whether that's proper to engage in something like that or not is entirely up to you. But the way that he goes up and approaches him is not the manner in which it should have been done. He's trying to apply some sort of rear naked choke, and because the individual is bigger than him and because he doesn't break down his base first, he ends up getting flipped over on his head. And thankfully the guy that he tried to choke wasn't too pissed off about it and didn't, stomp his skull into the pavement. So we're going to set this up like the same type of scenario. You can see that Red Jr. here is taller than me, similar type situation. What ended up happening is as this individual came up from the rear, he comes in for the choke. He doesn't engage the choke properly, but he allows him to keep his base, and what ends up happening is he drops his base and bucks, and then he's actually able to lift me and throw me. So the proper way to do this is that I'm going to come in. If I'm going to mentally decide that I'm going to come up and I'm going to choke this individual, I want to come in and break his base down at the same time I pull him back. So I'm coming in, I'm breaking that base down because I want my base on me. I want him to not have balance. So I'm going to grab this in here, I'm going to apply my choke, and then all I'm going to do is close it in and sink the choke in. But we'll talk about the specifics of the choke in a minute. What I'm looking to do is his base has to be broken down such that he can't drop his base to lift me. So as I come in here, if all I'm doing is just grabbing and I keep my posture up, he's able to then buck back into me, which is basically a judo type throw. All he's got to do is break my base down by backing into me, and then my whole center of gravity comes forward. I end up getting flipped over the top of him. Instead, I'm going to come in, break that base down. From here, you'll notice that he can't get back into me. Even if he lowers his base, we both end up on the ground, and then I can apply my choke. Now, the choke itself, there's two kinds of chokes. I can go across the windpipe here, and that would be basically a wind choke. Alright? I don't know how many of you guys have ever tried to hold your breath, but if you can hold your breath for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, that's basically what you're going to end up with. Now, that's not the choke that we're trying to apply. What I'm trying to do is, on the sides of the neck, there are the arteries that are actually going up to the brain. I want to apply a blood choke by closing those arteries off. So you'll notice, as I come in, I allow my elbow to center up on his chin. That way, when I apply, I'm actually squeezing these arteries. So when this comes in here, I apply, my hand goes to my bicep, hand goes behind the head, it does not go on the head. I am not trying to force his head forward. What I'm trying to do is close up all the space. So once I get here, I break that base down. He is now leaning back on me, which is what I want. I'm now going to take this elbow and apply pressure downward, and then fill my lungs. I fill my chest. When I fill my chest, it pushes him into the choke. That way it's not a matter of me strangling him with my arm strength, it's just a matter of me closing up the space. So I just apply that pressure, and I get that choke. Now, there may be situations where you're doing this where an individual is armed, and there are other variations to do it, but the principle is still the same. I'm looking to close off those arteries so I can apply the choke. So I'm going to come in, break his base down. If he has a weapon, I'm looking to anchor that weapon from here. Now I'm going to go up behind my head, and I will actually grab the back side of my head and then apply pressure upwards, and what that does is that closes my arms on that artery. So understand that applying these chokes, what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to close the arteries off. This is why the why is so much more important than the how. I want to close the artery off because it doesn't matter how long you can hold your breath. If I close off the blood going to your brain, you're going to be out in seconds. Alright, so you guys give it a try. Train hard.